Well, thank you very much, and a very special hello to Arizona. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible state with thousands of very, very hardworking American patriots. Thank you very much, everybody. So as you know, early voting, we're finally here. We can't take this any longer. We don't like incompetent people, do we? We don't like incompetent. These people are grossly incompetent. They're going to be changed. We have no choice. We have to change them, and we have to change them on November 5th. It's going to be the most important day in the history of our country. I believe that, too. Early voting is underway here in Arizona, and we're doing great in Arizona. I don't know if you've been hearing. They got a problem. They got a problem. Got to make it too big to rig. Too big to rig, right? But if you want, vote by mail. Tomorrow is your last day to request a ballot. But you can cast your early vote in person all the way through November 1st, or you can vote on Election Day, which is just get out and vote. You got to go vote. We got to save it. We call it a nation in decline. We're being nice when we say that. With your help, 12 days from now, we're going to win Arizona. We're going to defeat Kamala Harris. And we're going to make America great again. That's what we're going to do. Over the past 4 years, Kamala Harris has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted upon our people. She has eradicated our sovereign border, and she has unleashed an army of migrant gangs who are waging a campaign of violence and terror against our citizens. And my message today is very simple. Kamala's migrant invasion, given to us through gross incompetence, disqualifies her from even thinking about being president. We can't let that happen. No person who is responsible for so much bloodshed and death on our soil can ever be allowed to become the president of the United States. What she's done and he's done. Crooked Joe and Kamala, what a combination. Worst combination in the history of our country. And they've weaponized your government. They're a disgrace to our country. 4 years ago, we had the strongest, safest, and most secure border in U.S. history with the lowest level of illegal immigration ever achieved. 4 years ago. Put up the chart. Go ahead, put it up. My favorite chart. That was the lowest. That was the day I left office. We did great in 2016. We got millions more votes in 2020. But that's the way it goes. But this is bigger than anything. This is going to be the biggest and most important election ever. It's going to be the biggest political event, I believe, in our country's history. We have to win. And we don't need it for the big political event. We need it to save our country. When Kamala came in, she deliberately dismantled our border and threw open the gates. She threw them open. The gates to an invasion of criminal migrants from prisons and jails, from insane asylums and mental institutions, from all over the world, from Venezuela to the Congo in Africa. A lot of people coming out of the Congo. Not just South America. They're coming from 181 countries as of yesterday. Right, and we're a dumping ground. We're like a garbage can for the world. That's what's happened. That's what's happened to our. We're like a garbage can. You know, it's the first time I've ever said that. And every time I come up and talk about what they've done to our country, I get angrier and angrier. First time I've ever said garbage can, but you know what? It's a very accurate description. Meanwhile, she cruelly forced our border agents to help facilitate her wicked betrayal of America. And by the way, the Border Patrol last week gave us their complete and total endorsement, and they said she is the worst. I want to thank them. And they, at the same time, they said she is so bad, she's the worst, you can't have her. And they don't want to do that. It's probably not easy for them to do that. But you know what? They said she's horrible. She was the border czar, and she never made one phone call. Not only didn't she come to the border, she never made a phone call. And now, a few months ago, when she was getting killed, both of them, him and her, they were getting killed. They made it a little bit tougher, but they forgot to stop the airplanes going overhead. We said, how come those planes are still flying? Hundreds of thousands of people flown into our country, landing in our beautiful Midwest and other places, and they're devastated. You know what's happening to Springfield, Ohio, and Aurora, and Colorado. What they're doing to our country. We're joined today by the former senior Border Patrol chief of the San Diego sector, Aaron Heitke, an eyewitness to one of the most horrific scandals in American history carried out by Kamala. Well, she was appointed by this guy because he has to go to sleep every night at 4 o'clock. And she was appointed by him, and therefore she was the border czar, but she doesn't want to be called, so who cares what she is? She was appointed to take care of our border. We had the worst border, and now, and by the way, she also destroyed San Francisco, one of the greatest cities in the world, 15, 16 years ago. And California, when she was Attorney General, a disaster between her and Gavin Newsom is the worst. But it's deadly. What they've done is deadly. The open border policy is a disaster. Aaron, please come up and say a few words. Border Patrol.
I've never seen anything worse than the last 4 years that I've seen under the current administration. I had the pleasure of working for President Trump, and things were never better. I had the misfortune of spending the last 4 years watching our border be overrun. It's been nonstop. The agents' morale has been destroyed. It's been very difficult to watch. I testified in front of the Senate recently to get the word out. The public doesn't know. This administration has continued to say there's no threat at the border. We have a continuous threat, a serious threat at the border that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Aaron. And that's heartfelt, too. That's heartfelt. He just wants it to be straightened out, along with one of the incredible people. Getting their endorsement was my great honor. But it says something. And we had unanimous, thousands of people, unanimous. Who could ever get that? Because she's so bad. She's so bad. I watched last night. I don't watch CNN often. It's fake news. But I watched last night. Oh, oops, the camera just went off. I watched last night, she did a town hall. Honestly, it was pathetic. It was pathetic. There's never been anything like that. We can't let it happen. We can't. That's why you have to get, everyone's saying how well we're doing. You still get out, the people that haven't voted, get out and vote. We can't take a chance. We can't take a chance on this disaster continuing, because we won't have a country left if it does. The 4-year-long nightmare that Kamala Harris has forced your men to endure, your men, your women, your children, it's a nightmare for the whole planet, you want to know the truth, because we represent so much. We represent the American dream. The whole world is watching us, and they see these people that don't deserve to be in any position of authority. Remember, he got, whether you like him or not, I'm not a fan of his. Did you see last night? He blew it. He said, lock him up. He said, lock him up last night. He's not allowed to say that. He's such a stupid guy. Such a stupid fool. He's such a guy. But they actually, remember this. They took it away from him. They did something that's never happened. You know, you can use different words, but they just took away the presidency of the United States. And they wanted to be politically correct. They gave it to her. And she was last. She was the first one out. And she came in out of the top 13 contenders. She came in last, and they gave her she got no votes. He got 14 million, whether you like this guy or not, and not too many people are thrilled. And, you know, if you remember, we had a debate, and he didn't do great in the debate, but you know what? That's what happens. And he went down, and he was not doing great, but you got to let him ride it out, right? Instead, they took him out. They said, you're coming out. We're not going to let you. They tell this to the president. This is crazy Nancy. She's crazy as a bed bug, that one. Now, she's a nut job who's crooked as hell. Listen, she started off with nothing. 2 weeks ago, a company that was going to be investigated the following day, she had a lot of stock in the company. She sold the stock the day before they announced the investigation of the company. That's crazy Nancy. No, I think she's immune from investigation. Can you believe? I think she's immune, but not a good person. So when I win on November 5th, the migrate, and remember this, we're going to win. I think we're going to win maybe bigger than anyone understands. Have to get out of the way. And when I win on November 5th, and it's not me, we win. We're going to win. When we win on November 5th, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. We're going to restore our country. One of the deadliest and most vicious migrant gangs that Kamala has imported into our country. Essentially, she open borders. When you say open borders, and then they say, we're going to give you health care, education, we're going to give... They're forced to come up, right? Sheriff, you look good. Handsome guy. But they come in. It's like a magnet. They come in. They're promised everything. In New York, they get hotel rooms, luxury hotel rooms. And our veterans are forced to sleep on the streets. Think of it. But it's a savage Venezuela prison gang formed in the prison, Tren de Aragua, that is taking over apartment complexes and unleashing a violent terror spree. This is in that case in Colorado. And the governor, who's a radical left Democrat, is petrified of the situation. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. Replace him. I think we replace him. I hope Colorado, Colorado with the governor, this weak guy, Colorado was the one that tried to get Trump. I'm leading every candidate, including the Democrats, on the ballot. And they put in a petition to have me removed from the ballot. And then they say, think of it. They didn't get very far, but this guy tried that. And then they say, I'm a threat to democracy. I'm a threat. No, they're a threat. But they even are taking over parts of Times Square. They're all over the place now, and they have weapons like very few people have. So let's take a look. That's what we have. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Thanks a lot, Kamala. We appreciate it. The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. We're not going to have this. November 5th, 2024 will be called Liberation Day in America. We're going to be liberated. Under Kamala Harris, 13,099, this is information right from the Border Patrol, not even believable, 13,099 illegal alien convicted murderers were set to prey upon the United States of America. Think of that. And 425,000 convicted criminal aliens were released into our country over the last 3.5 years. Think of that, 425,000. Last year, an illegal alien was arrested at the Arizona border and then released into the United States by Kamala's horrible open border policy. He went on to repeatedly rape and strangle a woman, killing some, they don't know how many, and is now facing over 100 years in prison. Thank you very much, Kamala. We appreciate it. Through our open border, Kamala Harris is also actively aiding and abetting the worst human traffickers, child smugglers, drug dealers, bloodthirsty criminal networks. We have them all, the worst murderers in the world. They make our criminals look like nice people, I'm telling you. The cartel's profits have soared from $500 million a year under Trump to $13 billion under the border czar, Kamala. And every day they're stealing innocent lives on both sides of the border. They're killing people left and right. Nobody knows it. And the fake news right back there, they don't want to report it. They don't want to report it. They don't put it. You know, when I put these, I have friends, they love the rallies. They want to watch the rallies, and they always do. And the other day, one of my friends said, you know, we love the rallies, but you put up these great clips that are very descriptive, and the fake news will not put the camera on the clips. I didn't know that, you know. I just heard that. And we tell them to do it. But they don't do it. They just keep that camera zoomed in on me. Such a waste of time. Now, we have some clips. They're great clips. And the people at home, we got millions of people watching on television. But they won't move those cameras. I try and shame them. I do whatever I can. They're just bad people. And until we get a fair and free press in this country, they're just bad people. I mean, look how easy. Here you have, all they have to do is just go, 1 inch this way and 1 inch this way, and you got it. They don't want to do that. They're the enemy of the people. They are. They're the enemy of the... I've been asked not to say it. I don't want to say it. They're the enemy of the people. And someday they're not going to be the enemy of the people, I hope. Just days ago, a young U.S. Marine Corps veteran named Nicholas Quetz, from right here in Arizona, you know about it, was driving through Mexico for a beach weekend, just a weekend with his friends, a really good guy, good kid. when he was viciously gunned down on the highway and murdered by members of a Mexican cartel. And it was brutal for no reason whatsoever. And we're joined today by Nick's wife, Carrie, his father, Warren, his mother, Patricia, his sister, Alexis, and his brother-in-law, Phil. Could you please stand up wherever you may be? Could you please stand up? A beautiful guy, a beautiful family, and we are so sorry for your loss. Can't be expressed. Thank you very much. Under the Trump administration, we will achieve complete and total victory over these sadistic monsters. We will reclaim our territory. We will restore the sovereign borders of the United States of America, and we will put the cartels quickly out of business. They're going to be gone. Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. We'll get them out. And I will rescue every town across America that's been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail, or we'll kick them the hell out of our country as fast as we can. And to expedite removals of Tren de Aragua and other savage gangs like MS-13, just as bad. Just as bad. These are really violent people. MS-13 on Long Island, they like Long Island. We put up thousands, we took out. ICE, they're great people. Our ICE. You know, she wants to terminate ICE. Who's going to remove these people? Terminate ICE. They're tough and they love the country. But think of this. 2 young girls walking to school, 16 years old. They don't like using guns because knives are more painful. They sliced them up into pieces, killed them both, and then went about playing and doing whatever the hell they were doing. And ICE went in and grabbed them and got them. And they wish they didn't do that to those 2 young girls. They were walking to school, 2 beautiful, perfect young girls walking to school. They got knifed to death, both of them, cut up. And we got to get these animals out of here fast. It's only going to be worse. And to do so, I have to go back a long way because, you know, that's when they ran a little tougher country. And nowadays, everything's so politically correct. They fight harder for the criminal than they do for the people that have been murdered, killed. These stupid politicians. I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Can you believe that? To go back that far. To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. Can you imagine having to go back to 1798? And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. Thank you. I will end catch and release. You know, we had a policy called Remain in Mexico. People think that was easy to get. That was so good. They ended it immediately. I will end all migrant flights. I will outlaw sanctuary cities, which is a place where they give criminals sanctuary. I will immediately ask Congress for funding to hire 10,000 new border agents and to approve a 10% raise for existing agents and a $10,000 retention and signing bonus. We're doing it. They've been treated unfairly. And I will ban all welfare and federal benefits from illegal aliens, and they won't come anymore. They won't come. And in yet another incoherent train wreck of a television interview yesterday, Kamala Harris stated once again that she opposes any plan to send her illegal aliens back home. She opposes deport. I don't think she knew what the hell she was saying, you want to know. I actually saw it. I said, I think she must have misunderstood. She'll say, I didn't understand the question. She does. She's a low IQ individual, I'm telling you. I'm good at this stuff. She's a low IQ person. She opposes deportations. Can you believe it? She doesn't want them, Sheriff. She doesn't want them deported. We have a man over here, one of the greats of all time. Stand up, Joe. Stand up. One of the great of all time. Stand up. He didn't play games at the border. Sheriff Joe. He didn't play games. He's a great one. We miss his wife. We miss his wife. She died a couple of years ago. We miss her. She loved this guy. Can you imagine she was in love with him like crazy? Who the hell could love him? But you know what? He got the job done. He got that job done, right? No games. And he did it fairly. Thank you very much for being here. It's very nice. I didn't know you were going to be here. It's appropriate that you're here, frankly. You know that. He did a real job. You didn't have the problems that you have today, the day that just walk in. You got those weak politicians, those pathetic politicians. And by the way, speaking of non-weak, I really hope you're going to go out and vote for Carrie Lake for Senate. Where is she? Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie, and good luck. And you know what I want you to do now? Get up and go to that television show. She's doing Laura Ingraham, and Laura Ingraham has been great. And we want you to do great. You go ahead. The whole place, we're going to clap as you leave. Go ahead. Come on. Sheriff Joe. Thank you. Thank you, Carrie. Great. Great job. Thank you. Thank you, fellas. She's terrific. You know, we had a deal. I was going to introduce her, but I was going to just sort of let her face. I said, isn't it better if we just say, because she has to do a big show, actually, with Laura. Laura's been great, too, as you know. And so I said, rather than have her sort of like try and avoid, I said, go out to wonderful applause. And somehow, Sheriff Joe, I think that worked out pretty good, right? Huh? But he's never leaving us this one here. And Kamala supports mass amnesty and citizenship for the human tidal wave. And she's brought it to us. It's going to come crashing down like you've never seen. This tidal wave, we're going to break this tidal wave. We're going to end it fast, and we're going to have our country back again. Every Arizona senior needs to know that Kamala's plan for mass amnesty will obliterate Medicare and Social Security. They want to put these people on Social Security and Medicare. And that's going to sink those two things. Whereas I'm saving them, and I'm not raising the age like they will have to do. You'll never see me raise the age. We have liquid gold. We have so much wealth in this country. We have so much. We don't have to play around with Social Security like they want to do. They're going to destroy your Social Security among our country. They're going to destroy our country. So that's the whole ballgame. If you want your Medicare looted by 21 million illegal aliens until there's nothing left, and by the way, if they ever got in, the border will be immediately opened, and you'll have 200 million people come in here. You'll have 200 million, and there will be no fracking, Pennsylvania. There will be no fracking. There will be no nothing. We'll have a country that will be a disgrace and an embarrassment. Nobody will even know. It'll happen so fast. It can happen fast. Look at Venezuela. 15 years ago, Venezuela was a thriving, incredible country, and now the people can't get a bottle of water. If you want to save Medicare and save Social Security, you must vote for a gentleman named Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him? It's an amazing stat, but virtually 100% of the net job creation in the last year, you know who it's gone to? Migrants. They're creating jobs. I didn't believe it. I actually have that. Andy Biggs, I had to have that number checked, and it was right. The jobs are going to people that are pouring in. This border invasion of millions of people pouring in is causing a job crisis for Black and Hispanic population. That's what's happening. Hispanic and Black are losing their jobs because of this. And it makes sense. You got millions of people pouring in. People that have had their job, that have done a job for years, they're losing their job. And it started with the Black and the Hispanic populations. And we're just not going to let it all happen. It's so disgraceful. They don't want to show you all of the jobs that the Black and Hispanic people are losing because they want to wait till after the election. But I've seen numbers. And when you see those numbers, the election's going to be over probably, although 818,000 jobs were fraudulently put on the rolls by these guys, by these crooked guys in Washington. They lied and cheated. They said we had 818,000 jobs. And we had a whistleblower because they wanted to revise it after the election. And we had a whistleblower. And I wonder whoever the hell that whistleblower was. Thank you very much, whistleblower. We appreciate it. Think of that. Even after all of the pain and suffering that she's caused, when Kamala was asked if she would do anything differently, she said that she wouldn't change not one thing. Let's watch. It's pretty brutal, isn't it? Isn't it unbelievable? So, Arizona, if you want to end this disaster, you must get out and vote. You have to vote. We're not playing games. So, how to do it. And Jane, your husband sitting on the sofa, watching something. He doesn't even know what he's watching. Tell him, Jimmy, get up. You're getting up, Jimmy. Let's go. Let's go, Jimmy. I'm not going to use foul language. Get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote, Jimmy. You're going to vote. We're going to save our country, Jimmy. We're going to save our country. Now, you got to go vote. We're pleased to be joined by a couple of really great people, 2 senators. They get it. They really get it, and they're warriors. Marco Rubio and Mike Lee. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. 2 great guys, and they are warriors, too. Representatives Eli Crane and Andy Biggs. Thank you. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, Eli. Thank you. Congressional candidate doing really well, Kelly Cooper, who is my complete and total endorsement. And so do these guys. They all have my endorsement. Everybody I've named, including Sheriff Joe, has my endorsement. Arizona GOP chairwoman, and this woman has done a job, and especially, well, it's early voting, and we are doing record successful numbers, and I think it's going to stay that way. Gina Swoboda, where's Gina? She is doing a job. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, honey. Great job. You going to keep it going? Okay, thank you, sister. Wow, this is a big guy. President of Arizona State University, college Republicans, Carson Carpenter. Thank you. He's done a fantastic job. Young guy. Look, a young guy, huh? He'll be up here someday. Thank you very much, Carson. And Gold Star mom, Alicia Lopez, mother of fallen Marine Corporal Hunter Lopez, who lost his life in the failed withdrawal from Afghanistan. Thanks. We want to thank you, Alicia, and we will never forget Hunter. Where is Alicia? Thank you. Thank you, darling, very much. Thank you very much. I've gotten to know so many people from that horrible event, the most embarrassing, horrible event in the history of our country. Because of that event, Putin went into Ukraine. That Afghanistan event was such a disgrace, and it would have never happened. We would have kept Bagram. We wouldn't have taken the soldiers out first. We wouldn't have given them anything. Billions and billions of dollars of equipment, 13 dead. Think of it, 13 dead, but so many horrifically wounded with the arms and the legs, the whole thing. Nobody ever mentions them. I mention them all the time because they're sitting home right now. They're suffering. And it should have never, ever happened. And Putin, think of this. Putin sat back, and President Xi of China and all of them, and they looked back and they said, oh, the U.S. must be a paper tiger. Putin would have never, ever gone in. No chance. It wouldn't have happened. No chance. I spoke to him about it. It was the apple of his eye. I will tell you that. Ukraine was the apple of his eye. But he would have never gone in. And he understands that. And to think of what's happened, and now you look at Ukraine, so many people have died. Those beautiful old cities, those magnificent golden domes are laying down, smashed to smithereens on their sides. Can they ever rebuild that? You're not going to rebuild that. They lost their whole culture. For that to have happened, you could have stopped that so easily, Joe. You didn't know what the hell you were doing or saying, Joe. What a shame. What a different country we would have had. Think of it. You wouldn't have inflation. You wouldn't have had and we were getting out of Afghanistan. I spoke to Abdul. He was the head of the Taliban. They said, where did you speak to him? I said, because that's where the death is. He was the one. And for 18 months, we didn't lose one soldier in Afghanistan. Think of it. 18 months, right? And then these stupid people took over. And we lost those beautiful soldiers. Most importantly, we lost. And other people, many people were killed that day. Many, many people. People that were from Afghanistan. Many, many people. It was horrific. But so much death and so unnecessary. But think of it, that wouldn't have happened. We would have been out, but we would have been out with dignity and pride. We would have kept Bagram, the big air base, one of the biggest air bases in the world. We built it many years ago for billions of dollars. And it was 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. And we would have kept it for that reason. We were expecting to keep it, but they left there too. They turned off the lights and they left, although a lot of those lights were left on, I believe. And they didn't take the dogs, by the way. A lot of people say, did they take the dogs? They had these great German Shepherd dogs. No, they didn't take the dogs. It's such a horrible thing that happened, and in a short period of time. So you had that, and then you had Russia going into Ukraine. You have President Xi looking very strongly at Taiwan. You know that. He's been looking, he's been savoring. He's been licking his chops on that one, right? And you had October 7th with Israel would have never happened. That would have never, all those people killed, it would have never happened. None of it would have happened. We would have been a whole different world right now. We would have been the world that Viktor Orban talked about. He said he's the head of Hungary, strong person, very strong leader. He said this would have never happened if Trump were the president of the United States. So, but we'll fix it. We'll fix it. We'll get it fixed. Also with us is Kristen Coolidge, the widow of Phoenix police officer Zane Coolidge, who was shot and killed last month in the line of duty, leaving behind his wife and his beautiful 5-month-old daughter. I just met them in backstage also. Could you stand up, wherever you may be? Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. And Kristen, your husband was a true hero. They know him so well over here. Everybody knew exactly who I was talking about. And it was wonderful to meet you, but I'm so sorry for what happened. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you, Mom. So we grieve with you, and we stand with you, and we're going to stand with everybody that we just introduced you to. But these are things that would have never happened with proper government, with people that knew what they were doing, with maybe a little bit of toughness. I guess that's okay, right? Maybe a little bit of toughness and a lot of common sense. These things would have never happened, and these wonderful people would be alive today. Under my administration, we will once again give our police and law enforcement heroes the support, resources, protection, and respect that they so dearly deserve. Right? We're going to bring back law and order to America. Our country is going to hell. We'll rapidly build the greatest economy in history. I will pass historic tax cuts for workers and small businesses, including no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. No tax. And I will terminate Kamala's insane electric vehicle mandate, and we will end the Green New Scam. Trillions and trillions of dollars being wasted on the Green New Scam. We're going to have the cleanest water of anybody. We had 4 years. We had the record, clean water, clean air. But it's a Green New Scam. I will make interest on car loans fully tax deductible, but only for cars made in America. Thank you. And to a large degree, the reason I just came up with that idea, people are calling me these geniuses from Wall Street. What a great idea that was. How did you think of that? I always say the paperclip. 129 years ago, the paperclip. Somebody looked at it and said, why didn't I think of this? Somebody got very rich. Because affording a car is essential to restoring the American dream. We're going to have those cars made in Detroit. They're going to be made all over Michigan. We might even have a couple made here, but who knows? We're going to make plenty of other things here. We will quickly become energy independent, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack, 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 drill, baby, drill. And in conclusion, with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala Harris. We're going to fire her. Get the hell. We're going to fire Kamala. We're going to get her out of here. Honestly, you had to see it last night to believe it. People, even reporters spoke to me today. They said, we can't believe it. It's hard for them to justify, they're all controlled by the left. They're controlled by the left, totally controlled. I don't know what the hell. We have to free the reporters up because I know some of them. They're good people. We have to free them up. We have to free them from the left. And we're going to save America. With your support, we will end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to America. And really, a lot of factories are coming right back here to Arizona, where they were taken from you. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine. I will get it stopped very quickly. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III. And we're very close to World War III right now. And we will build a massive missile defense shield to protect us. We want protection too, don't we? And it's going to be made in the USA, a lot of it right here. And we will land an American astronaut on Mars. Thank you, Elon. Thank you. Get going, Elon. Get that spaceship going, Elon. By the way, how good is Elon Musk? You know, well, we're having a good time here today at this beautiful arena. This is a beautiful arena, nice 72 degrees, everything. Elon is campaigning in Pennsylvania, and he's really working hard. Elon Musk, between rocket ships, you ever see a rocket ship come down so beautifully like that? I said, why did you do that, Elon? He said, because I want to save the ship. It costs like $1 billion to build. I said, can anybody else do that? No. The rest of them, they drop them into the ocean. They start all over again. No, this guy's great. And he did us a bigger favor right now. He gave us the Starlink. Does anybody know Starlink? He gave us Starlink in North Carolina, some in Georgia, some of the areas that were hit by that horrible hurricane. And somebody from North Carolina said, do you know Elon Musk? I said, yes. How good was his endorsement? I mean, his endorsement just kept coming and coming. He said that we will not have a country if we don't win this election, and he is a smart cookie. In fact, he was over with us last couple of weeks over in Pennsylvania in Butler. And he saw something that he's, with all the rockets and Starlinks and everything else, he said, I've never seen anything like it. We had 101,000 people, and it was incredible. Honoring a wonderful man, Corey, firefighter, and it was a beautiful, beautiful evening. It's a beautiful evening. But Elon got Starlink, and he said, the gentleman from North Carolina, one of the officials, said to me, is it possible for you to get him to get us Starlink? I said, I can try. What's Starlink? And he told me it's communication, a form of communication that's very good, but hard to get. And I called Elon, and he sent it immediately. Hundreds of adapters, sent them immediately. And I think he saved a lot of lives. So thank you, Elon Musk, right? Thank you. Good job. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity. We're going to get them the hell out of our schools immediately, right? And something I'm always embarrassed to even have to say, it's so crazy. We will keep men out of women's sports. Can you believe it? Who would have thought you have to say that? How about the other good one is parental. We will give parents the rights to watch over their child. I mean, the school boards. No, I mean, I have things that I say that 10 years ago would have been like, who would ever think of it? We will keep men out of women's sports. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. I will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms, our Second Amendment. Right? After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country. We are going to defend our borders, and we are going to protect our citizens. We will stop all illegal immigration once and for all and at once. We will stop it immediately. We will not be occupied. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity, hope, and filled with the American dream again. We're bringing back the American dream. That's what we're going to do. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is simply too big to rig. And we're doing that. We're doing that. We're doing that. If these numbers hold up, and they probably will, I mean, why wouldn't they? Who the hell wants these people in office? It's crazy. But the numbers are the biggest anyone's ever seen. Even the fake news says that. It's pretty amazing. But we want to wait, and we're watching very studiously. Early voting is underway. Get everyone you know and vote. Just get them, get your friends, say, get over here, you're going to vote. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years of the history of our country. With your help from now until Election Day, 12 days, is that so much to ask? 12 days. We will redeem America's promise. We will put America first. And we will take back the nation that we love. We're going to take it back from these people that have no idea what they're doing. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And we're going to remember God. They don't want to remember God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down, and we will never, ever surrender. Together, we will fight, 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 and win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country, and together, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. Bobby Kennedy. We will make America strong again. Oh, we're going to be strong. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Arizona. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you.